when the first Transformers movie came out, um, I honestly had no interest in seeing it, because I thought it was just going to be a complete shit, total waste of time. Um, and then the second movie came out, and I saw that these movies were actually pretty popular, so I decided to watch both the first and second. I thought they were great. And then I went to go see the third one when it came out in theaters. I thought it was great. And it was a good trilogy. It was a very good trilogy. And then I saw Age of Extinction come out, and I'm like, okay, well, they had a pretty good trilogy. Yeah, I wonder what kind of new stuff they're going to be doing for this movie. There is no new stuff. It was all just the same fucking thing that I had seen in the first three movies, and I hated it. The fourth movie sucks. Age of Extinction sucks. So, I'm like, okay, Michael Bay, you had me for three movies, and now you're screwing it up. What else are you gonna screw up? The Teenage fucking Mutant Ninja Turtles. On the one hand, you think, well, this could be incredible, right? Because, I mean, if you go back and watch some of the episodes from the original series, it's pretty stupid. It's pretty stupid and desperately needs some explosions or something to make it seem less stupid. So you'd think that this would be an incredible movie if it was like the show, right? But I knew. I knew going into the movie it was going to be bad. Um, and I had a bit of a movie premiere marathon Friday. I not only went to go see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, but I also went to see Into the Storm, which was a movie that I was really excited for. I couldn't wait to see it because it just looked incredible. The effects looked outstanding. Like, the acting was ridiculously good. Like, all of these actors are, like, completely unknown. Like, these are all, like, brand new actors, and yet some of them, the way they act, it nearly fooled me into thinking that they've been doing this for years. Like, they're professionals. Like, I was completely blown away by, like, all of this. Like, the movie just blew me away. No pun intended. Um, but it was just incredible. I loved it. But there was hardly anybody there. Why? Because they were all at the premiere for Teenage fucking Mutant Ninja Turtles! And it sucks! Just... Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go down a list of the major things that I could not stand in this movie. And, yeah, this is my first rant video. So, just to address the elephant in the room, the Turtles and Splinter are terrifying. They are scary. Scary, scary, scary. I have had nightmares for the past 2 nights because they are so scary. They make Shredder, the villain of the movie, look like a cute puppy dog by comparison. And speaking of Shredder, he's a freaking rejected Transformer in the film. And he just looks ridiculous. Like, I thought the original series Shredder looked ridiculous. No, this one, This Shredder looks hilarious. This Shredder looks hilarious. Like, not threatening at all. And instead of having those two instead of having those two sharp claws that he's known for, he has freaking saw blades, like for fingers that he like detach from his hands, I guess, and he like throws them like they're shurikens. It's just so stupid, and and um and the timing is absolutely terrible. And you don't even see the Turtles for the first 30 minutes. Yeah, a movie called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the Turtles don't show up till the 30-minute mark. And I made sure to keep track. I made sure to keep time of everything. 30-minute mark, we finally get the Turtles. We finally actually get the Turtles revealed. I mean, yeah, earlier in the film, we get like tiny glimpses of them fighting here or there, but we never actually see their faces, so I don't actually count it as them being revealed. And after that, you'd think, well, this is when we get to some awesome action, right? Wrong! Because we have to wait through another 30 minutes of dialogue from Megan Fox, because I'm not going to say April O'Neil, because she's not playing April O'Neil. She's playing Megan Fox. She's playing herself. And, I mean, she steals the entire first hour of the movie. Like, the first half hour, before we even get introduced to the Turtles, it's just spent with Megan Fox talking. And a pointless Whoopi Goldberg cameo. I mean, I love Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, she's awesome. Thumbs up to her. But her cameo was completely pointless. She got 2 scenes. And each scene was like, what, a minute long? And, oh my god. And they tried to add some kind of, like, weird backstory where the Turtles and Splinter were actually April's pets, and they were part of an experiment that her father and Shredder's disciple were doing to try to create mutagen, and they were fusing the mutagen with Splinter and the Turtles as part of like test subjects, and a fire ends up starting that destroys their research, and everybody thought that Splinter and the Turtles were killed in the fire, but April ended up saving them, and then the mutagen started taking effect once they got into the sewers. Why did it take so long for it to take effect, considering how they had been injecting the mutagen into them for months? Why did it take so long? And Splinter ends up telling the Turtles that it was a spirit guardian who saved them, like builds April up like she is this deity, like she's this god, like she's their god, their creator, their savior. But she was just a little girl. She was just a little girl doing what any other little girl who loves her pets would do. She would save them from that fire and make sure they got to safety. Any other little girl would do that for a pet that she loves. So, and like, even after that, like the Turtles, aside from like a 2-second bow, the Turtles don't treat April like she's this deity that they had been taught by their sensei. Splinter had raised them, telling them how April was this deity. Like, she was their god, their savior, and they just treat her like she's just some regular human that they met on the street. I mean, yeah, she is, but still, you'd think they would touch on that a little bit more. Like, they would be a little hesitant to treat her the same way after they find that out. And then she tells them, no, just treat me the way you've been treating me. That's fine. But no, they never touch upon it. And the action, it's okay, I guess. And, God, what else was it? Oh, yeah. Uh, Also, the way that Splinter uh, learned ninjutsu is, he found a book that teaches ninjutsu. Actually, it doesn't even teach it. It just shows pictures of a guy doing the moves. And picked it up like that and taught it to the turtles. Bullshit! And, yeah, so finally, at the 1 hour mark, we actually get some action. But, what happens? The turtles get their asses kicked! You'd think you finally get to see some awesome turtle action, and it's just them getting electrocuted. That's basically what the fight amounts to. Them getting electrocuted, Splinter nearly dying from an explosion, and it's just a tiny part of their sanctuary that gets exploded. The rest of it is completely fine. And oh my god, it's just so stupid. And then and Irma and Irma's in it. She gets a very brief cameo, like in like the first 20 minutes. Thank God it was at least brief. And I hope I heard it wrong. But at one point in the movie, April is talking to at one point in the movie, April's talking to this Will Arnett, and it's just, I hope I heard her wrong, but she ended up calling him by his nickname, and I could have swore I heard her say Casey. And I'm thinking, what? No! Will Arnett cannot be Casey! I mean, Casey Jones, one of the arguably coolest characters from the Turtle franchise. And Will Arnett, are you serious? And yeah, so they end up her and Will and Raph end up going to save the other turtles because they were captured and April and Will end up saving the turtles while Raph gets his ass handed to him by the Shredder, and then the Shredder leaves when he thinks he's won, and like Shredder's plan is extremely stupid. Like, he's supposed to like use some kind of toxin that will like be poisonous to humans and whatnot. It spread throughout the entire city, and the mutagen is supposed to be a cure that will um, get rid of the toxin. However, this raises a couple questions, and the bad guys will have total control over the city once they give this cure to the people. But this raises a few questions. One, how is the Shredder supposed to gain control if it's his disciple who is going to receive the money and the credit? How is Shredder taking control? And on top of that, didn't the mutagen turn 4 normal turtles and a normal rat into, like, giant 6-foot-tall creatures that, like, no ninjutsu? I mean, really? You're really going to give a substance that unstable to normal people? Like, who knows what the effects would be? So that made no sense. Like, how exactly would that be a cure if there's more than likely going to be side effects to using the mutagen? And it's in the last 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes when we finally get some good action. We get to see the turtles actually kicking butt. But for the most part, I was not invested. Not at all. It was such a boring climax. A very boring climax. I could tell exactly what was going to happen, when it was going to happen, who it was going to happen to. I knew everything that was going to happen. There were no surprises. And Raph has that big speech about why he's so hard on the guys. It's because he believes in them and how he's afraid. And it's like, we know, Raph! We know! Freaking 6-year-olds who have never heard of the Turtles know exactly why you do this, okay? We don't need you to smash this into our skulls! We already know! And, and this is, like, I'm not going to be able to watch anything involving the Ninja Turtles for a while, thanks to this. But when the antenna on the tower falls over, it's like tilted, and it's like hanging off of like the edge of another building. Shredder is like trying to like cut off. Shredder is like trying to throw one of his saw blades to cut off Leo's hand, because Leo's hand is the only thing holding up all 4 of the turtles. It's like those little. It's like one of those. It's like those barrel monkey things. Yeah. And what do? Who ends up defeating Shredder? April O'Neil is the one who defeats Shredder. They swing her to him. She kicks him in the chest, and he falls off a friggin' skyscraper, lands right on his back on the concrete. Giant dent in the street, and yet he's still fucking alive. But still, April! the second most useless character in the original series. Next to Irma, of course. But what's good about it? Is there anything at all good about the movie? Actually, yes. There are two scenes in the movie that are good. One is the scene where they're going down the hill. Like, they're going down the snowy hill. That whole fight sequence, when they're going down the hill, that whole thing is just timed perfectly. It's all well paced. The action is really good and very creative. Like, the turtles actually have good lines, and the teamwork they use there is, like, amazing, and the way they treat each other. I mean, those are the Ninja Turtles. When I saw that, I'm like, holy crap, these are the Ninja Turtles! These are the Ninja Turtles! They look amazing! These guys are incredible! And as stupid as the scene is, it's still my favorite scene in the movie. It is my favorite scene in the movie, best part of the film, and it's only like a few seconds long. It's like 30 seconds long, but it's the scene when they're in the elevator just before they rush out to face the Shredder for the final confrontation. They are in an elevator, and they're just like all serious, and then Mike starts and Raph decides to join in too, and then Leonardo, then Donatello, and they're just making this really awesome beat, and they're just like jamming out to their own beat, and it's like, oh my god, these are the Ninja Turtles. This is what I loved back in the original series. This is how they were. And they're still keeping those straight faces. Their straight faces like, gotta be ready to run out at any second. I mean, it's just, it was done so well. It was a perfect scene. It was done perfectly. Perfectly timed. Perfect comedic moments. Like, I really felt their brotherly connection in that 30 seconds. And that's another thing I hate about the movie. There is, like, hardly any brotherly connection whatsoever. I mean, yeah, think about it. In the movie, they act more like ninjas. They're ninjas first, and they're brothers second. That's not the Ninja Turtles. Those are not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They are brothers first. They have always been brothers first, ninjas second. Ninjas have a code. Okay? Ninjas have a code, and they get the mission done no matter the cost. The turtles will never abandon each other. They will never focus on the mission. They will never say, okay, you handle all these people. No, they are brothers first, and ninjas second. I didn't get any brotherly connection from them in this movie. It seriously felt like they were just about being ninjas. They were ninjas first and brothers second. And that's not the Turtles. And it really sucks because I think with those two scenes, the going down the snow slope and the elevator scene, those two were like one right after the other, pretty much. I really do believe that if the rest of the movie had been like those two scenes, I would have loved it. It would have been the Turtles movie that I've always dreamed of having. I mean, the first two movies were great when they first came out. But if you go back and watch them again, they really haven't held up with time, like at all. They are extremely stupid. But that was part of the fun of it. That was part of the fun of it. I think I've never really got into the second show of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just think that they kind of like took themselves a little too seriously and weren't really willing to goof off a little and actually do brotherly things. They seemed all about they seemed all serious and all about the mission. I couldn't get into the second series because it just didn't have that brotherly love to it like the original series did. And I really enjoy that brotherly love aspect that the Turtles have. Even in the original comics, you still got that brotherly love aspect. You still felt it. In the show, I never really got that all that much. It was here, or it was like there every once in a while, but for the most part, they just took themselves a little too seriously. And I'm not saying it needs to be completely stupid or completely serious. Find a middle ground. Find some kind of middle ground where you can be both stupid but take yourself seriously at the same time. Like, okay, like, we know we're stupid, but screw it. We're gonna take ourselves seriously anyway. This is supposed to be serious, even though it's stupid. And that's what the new show does. That's what the 2012 Ninja Turtles show does. It's incredible. I keep watching it. And they really have all that brotherly aspect. It's all around the show. It's all about family. And if they had made... And I really got that. Like, that whole all about family thing. I got that in that snow slope scene and in the elevator scene. If Bay had made the rest of the movie like those two scenes, I would have loved it. It would have been the Ninja Turtles movie I have always dreamed of. Where it's stupid, but it still takes itself seriously enough for me to take it seriously. If it doesn't take itself seriously, how am I supposed to? So, it especially sucks because I think this was such a missed opportunity. This was such a missed opportunity. I think Bay came close. He actually came close to making a good Ninja Turtles film, but it seems like he gave up. Like the last battle, yeah, I was able to predict it, but at least it was able to take itself seriously, despite the fact knowing that it was stupid. So I enjoyed the last like 20 minutes. I really enjoyed the last like 20 minutes of the film. It's everything that happens before that. I can't stand the stuff that happens before it. An hour and 20 minutes of itself taking itself way too seriously, despite the fact that they have such an over-the-top guy making it. It's quite sad, actually. It could have been a great movie. It really could have. But in the end, it came to the same Michael Bay bullshit that Transformers 4 fell into. I was totally okay with it for the first three Transformers movie, but by the time the fourth Transformers movie came out, I was like, okay, Michael Bay, I'm done. I can't watch your movies anymore. And I think a lot of people are starting to see that. A lot of people were starting to see that with the fourth Transformers movie, but now those same people who were starting to see that what Michael Bay was doing isn't working anymore, isn't entertaining anymore, those very same people are now the ones that are giving this new Ninja Turtle movie good reviews. Even though they're not the Ninja Turtles. They are poor, poor imposters. And that really sucks. Because, again, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's true. It's true. It is a hit. It is like such a missed opportunity. They had a great last 20 minutes. If they had made the rest of the movie like that, it would have been perfect. And hell, I actually didn't mind the first 20 minutes of the movie either, because Megan Fox was actually acting like April O'Neil. Like, she was going up to people, she was annoying the shit out of them, being this really pushy, really obnoxious, really annoying news reporter, because she's not satisfied with the stuff that they have her doing. I get that. That's April O'Neil. That's what she would do. But then you have like another 40 minutes of Megan Fox, not April O'Neil. It's Megan Fox. So I know it's gonna get a sequel, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go see it. This movie, it just. Michael Bay. It's been Michael Bayed. It's gonna be a long time before I can finally watch anything involving the Ninja Turtles again. So, this was my first rant video. I'll be putting up more videos later on this week. But if you'll excuse me, I need to go lay down. Until next time, I'm Edimanga Clendora, and I'll see you next time. Take care.